What is up, planet Earth and beyond? Today we're doing something a little different here. I've got two sections of this video that I just want to kind of combine. I want to go through and show you a little bit of my sorting process here. There's a light there. But I just wanted to go through and kind of explain how I sort everything really briefly here. If you guys want an in-depth view on that, I can do that. But basically, I've just bought a bunch of different sorting bins from Walmart and from various other areas. A lot of these here I get from Michael's during their Christmas sales during the year, as well as the bins on the right there. These bins on the left are tool bins that we get from Aldi from time to time, so I'll snag one of those if I get the chance. But the reason I'm showing all the sorting stuff is because that's what I've been doing for the last several months, and I just kind of wanted to make a video showcasing it. This shelf is kind of just random things that I've been wanting to build. These are the future projects that I've just been collecting pieces while working on it. As you can tell, this is what is left of my Airship, and sadly I did end up taking that down, dismantling it, sorting out the pieces, and the day after I finished taking it all apart, the pieces I needed to complete it showed up in the mail. The pieces I had been waiting, like 5 months for at the time, and I was just tired of waiting, and the set was becoming very, very brittle. These are some of the top shelves. These are some of my favorite sets that I keep up. I always wanted ATTEs, and I'm a major Bionicle collector. At one point was trying to collect every one. I've kind of slowed down on that, but I keep some of my favorite ones displayed. But back to what I was talking about regarding my steampunk airship. Unfortunately, it was just no longer realistic for me to keep it up. It was becoming more and more weak, and I just didn't want to cause any more stress to the Legos. And I wanted to work on some other projects. I've really been wanting to get back to working on Arkham. I needed several of the pieces from the steampunk ship that I was building to work on my island. With what I was going for with the Wave Built contest for Res Waveborn, I needed some of the pieces, and like I said, it was starting to put a lot of stress on the hull. I never intended it to sit for 6 months plus, so I just ended up dismantling it. So over here we have some more bulk stuff. A lot of this is, well, the top stuff is a lot of my bulk pieces, and then towards the bottom here are some of the Bionicle pieces that I have that either need to be sorted out or just, I keep them separate from a lot of my other builds. I do love Bionicle, but I don't want to keep everything out all at once, and it just gets dusty. We're going to start the video going through the last of what I did with my steampunk airship, and then towards the end of the video, I'll kind of show you some of my sorting process. That was only a portion of it. That was I think 8 hours worth of filming that I condensed down to a couple of minutes. And I was doing that as often as I could for several weeks, spending all my free time. I do work a lot of overtime, so unfortunately, I don't have nearly as much time as I would like to work on this. But just kind of wanted to give a little bit of an introduction to why the video is two separate videos. Hopefully, after I finish building this, I might jump back into a smaller steampunk airship. I don't know. I feel like I've kind of beat the horse to death at this point. I've rebuilt it 2 times now, and neither time I actually finished it, so I might move on to other projects. As you could tell from some of the pieces up here, I've got some more interesting projects that I'm really wanting to work on, that I'm a little more enthused with. So with that, let's go ahead and get into the videos. My steampunk airship. I apologize for the long overdue delay. I have been waiting for Lego to ship me parts for over 5 months, and they have not arrived. I have been in contact with Lego on multiple occasions, and they promised me that they are coming. So Lego has been very gracious in giving me several discounts back, and they've given me several dollars off of the purchase that they originally messed up. But they still have not even shipped the parts yet, and we are going on 5 months. And so I looked into buying the parts that I have on sale from Bricklink, and they will cost me thousands of dollars to ship. And at some point, Lego will ship me these parts, and so then I will end up spending thousands of dollars on top of what I have already spent to get the parts that I want to get. So with how long this has taken, and with the obnoxious waiting time that I have, I am really worried to continue to let this just sit. These air balloons that I have designed, I'm really worried about the structure and the weight that is being imposed upon the connections that I have holding them inside of there and what that's doing to the pieces. So I don't really want to let this sit built too much longer. So having said that, unfortunately, I'm most likely going to just have to go through my own parts and use some different colors. I want to try to make it look cohesive as possible. So because I just can't wait any longer, I'm going to try my best to complete this with the pieces that I have already ordered. I'm not entirely sure where I'm going to go with that. I bought specific pieces for specific things, especially for the engines that I wanted to have on the back of this. I had very specialized pieces that I had ordered to design multiple engines going down the back of this that I was really excited to build out in this dark orange color. Maybe what'll end up happening is in the future I will end up rebuilding this and redesigning it. There are several things that I would love to go back in and rebuild and redesign. Just different techniques and stuff that I've learned since I began this, and different ideas and concepts. I mean, there are several different steampunk airships that I have in mind that I've kind of been combining. And so maybe in the future I will be able to utilize those pieces on one of those. But for now, we're probably going to be switching to a lot of different parts to figure out how to do this. So with that, let's go ahead and get building this monstrosity. Okay, so before I get too much farther ahead of myself, I have designed 4 engines here, and 2 of them are fairly similar and on each, so I've got 2 different styles here that I've kind of alternated between, and I'm kind of creating these cones to go around them to make them look a little more organic and a little more part of the ship. So I'm going to be adding 2 more of these to the top here and connecting them the same way I've been doing with these other ones. So I'm really liking the way this has turned out. I had to alter it multiple times, but it's finally looking semi-cohesive. Alright, so I was able to connect that last one. So now we have all 4 engines connected, as well as shields, I guess, for them. So I paneled off this as well as started to shape this up. I really want to make this portion here the captain's quarters, and so it'll kind of swoop up here. I just need to figure out how to strengthen this area to actually build that out. I'm hoping to use these pieces here to transition into a captain's quarters. I just have to strengthen this area here. I'm not 100% sure how legal this connection is. I've just kind of got it there. It's not really like weight bearing, it's just there kind of keeping this from falling over with the way I have it supported there. So we'll see how that goes, but the minimal gray is what I'm really excited to see and kind of amazed at how the paneling is shaping on here. So really, really happy and pleased with the way this is turning out. Okay, so I've gone ahead and started building some of the framework to start connecting the captain's quarters. I have one lift here, and I'm going to be adding a second one further down here that'll actually slide inside. I'm hoping. I'm not really sure exactly how this is going to play into this, but I needed one. It needs 2 lifts in order to be able to pick this thing up. So I've added one, and I'll figure out a deeper one to put in here somehow. But for now, at least it's got one that's somewhat... Need to be a really strong one back here, because this part is a lot heavier, because this part's kind of hollow. So it doesn't have as much weight on this end, but this end is a lot heavier, because it's basically brick through half of this, and so I need something extra strong. I don't plan on carrying this very much, but I just wanted to kind of try my hand on doing something like this for this scale so that I can actually pick it up to move it around to get different angles while I'm filming it. So, and to put it back and forth in case I don't get it done this week. It's looking like I might not finish this week, unfortunately. Alright, so this is where I'm at. I'm slowly building up this area here. It'll come up to be the captain's quarters. I'm trying to strengthen this as I bring it out. Some long rods in here that are connected to this via snot technique. So if you can tell, it's connected here, and then it's connected a couple studs across the middle here, and then in here. So hopefully this will strengthen this structure. I might even bring it in and stud connect it, or not stud, but pin connect it through here so that it's even more sturdy. But I really want to strengthen this back as I build it up and out. I probably won't go too crazy high with it, but I just kind of wanted to give it that effect. Now that we've gotten the base for the back end of the ship here, it's not really a good angle to get it from. There we go. But now that we have the back end here, I'm going to start plating all this off, and then this will become plates for which I will create some kind of interior for. So this area here will be the captain's deck. I'm trying to figure out how to hide this a little better. Maybe put a crate here, like end the captain's quarters a little early, and then have this just be a crate that I can pick up and set down on that. It's just to hide this one. Again, this one will be lower, but it's coming along nicely. I just need to get a video of this in case if anything happens. It's not looking so good structurally right now. This whole thing is not structurally sound at the moment. This is at the bottom. I flipped it upside down because the top is actually more structurally sound right now than the bottom. But here's where I put most of my efforts today. I didn't actually create a way to connect this, which I'm kind of glad now because it's kind of pointless. Would have had to redo it anyways. But the buttress is looking really, really nice. It's kind of different seeing it upside down. But here is an upside down view. You can kind of see where all the paneling, this whole thing is what I've done today. So I'm really loving the way that this is rounding out towards the bottom of the back. That will be the top later. But yeah, I just wanted to film what I did today in case if things fall apart at some point, or if I do end up taking things apart. I have evidence of what it looked like prior to this whole portion I haven't touched today. Mostly been working on the rear end, which I'll take it to. I gotta figure out a new way. I probably need to completely dismantle this whole bottom and rebuild it. We're talking days of work. but it might be absolutely necessary for this thing not to fall apart, because I have the entire structure sitting on these connector pieces here that just really shouldn't be like that. I just was trying to get a specific look and was never intended to go this big. So after a night's sleep and some thought process, this is just going to be too much work. It's completely falling apart inside of here. It's gotten worse actually as the days gone on and it's sat. I'm really worried about the stress that the pieces are getting under, so it breaks my heart because I've been really wanting to build this for so long, and I'm so close to being done, but I just don't think it's worth risking damaging this many pieces. I've spent a lot of money on the pieces, and I just found out that Christian Faber is going to be doing this contest, and a lot of the pieces I need for what I want to design for his contest are inside of this and on the sides of it and stuff. And so I've been really trying to make it my goal to finish this. I don't finish a lot of my projects and they end up just getting dismantled. But due to it breaking and it not being structurally sound, I don't want to damage the pieces. I don't want to continue to put the strain on thousands and thousands of pieces. So this is unfortunately as far as it's going to get. Hopefully, if I'll be able to take a second crack at this, probably on a much smaller scale. But as for now, this is going to be my finished product. So thanks so much for watching this video, and hopefully I'll be able to get this next video up much sooner. My goal is to try to get this next video out as soon as possible, but I really got to dismantle this and get some stuff going for that to happen. So thanks so much for watching. Have a great week. So every year there is a special place where I go to get Lego on sale and in bulk, and it usually takes me the whole day to find it because it's not the only thing sold. But this is my haul today, and I went a little overboard than I usually do, but I've been working tons of overtime to make this possible. So, thanks for watching. Today we are going to be going through just some of the stuff I've been working on lately and kind of working on disassembling this whole piece here and still going through sorting. got a bit more sorting done here while I had to charge my phone. But we are getting down to the last bit of it. And with that, I ended up stopping filming here. There was just so much I needed to get done. So thanks so much for watching, guys. Hope you have a wonderful week. Hit the subscribe, hit that like button. Follow along as we just continue building more wonderful things. Have a great week, guys. See you in the next one.